Now we're on.
No, now we're on.
Now we're on. Welcome to the show, OB.
It could be. We can talk off air too.
No, she wasn't a volley dolly at all.
Yeah.
She was a flirt, her and Bugs. But they just never,
Yeah.
they never went down that road.
Yeah.
They were just at the tournament and having fun and partying with us and drinking with us. And,
Good job, Mom.
Good job, Mom. Mom was fun. Mom was fun back in the day.
no, she was cool. No, she's wild, but she was cool. She was, she had her shit together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is your second time on the show. Last time, I think it was just me and you chatting on the phone. And
Yeah.
And now this is the real deal. You're the first guest in our brand new studio. Gabby put this together yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, don't I feel honored?
Yeah, so you're
Should've
on
brought my photo and put it back there for
this,
guest.
this is what
Where do I
you
sign? I sign the wall?
So actually, what we used to so all year we'd had a Wilson ball that every guest was signing, and then we auctioned it off, and then that funded. We've been running an Eric Zahn Award for the last 5 years, and so the proceeds went this year. Wyatt Harrison was our Eric Zahn Award winner, so that should at least cover his flight to his next tournament to Mallorca, Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we're gonna have to figure out something new for you to sign, but we can send you with a book because you are in that book.
Oh, yes. Yes. I should be in that book, but I'm not.
You are.
I'm in there twice.
Yeah,
New
but
edition.
you're the guest of honor. That's what you get for bringing fours back to life, baby.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Interesting story how it came about.
Yeah.
I'm not being in the restaurant business. I was a promoter by nature. We'd had golf tournaments. My brother and I would set things up. So I'm down at Huntington Beach last year, and I'm sitting there with Taylor. So let's go to breakfast. I want to talk to you. So we start BS, and I said, I think I could put this together in Newport Beach. I've got enough sponsorship there, enough people. Let me check into it. And that's how basically it started. Mm-hmm. So my partner, Kevin Martin, who's part of Eagle 4 Partners and hotels and
Does
things
he
like that.
run Vea? Is that his
Yeah, he
name?
runs Vegas.
Okay,
Awesome. He does some stuff with Kelly Cheng and Sarah
right on.
Sponcil. So I talked to him and I said, hey, I think we can do this and pull this off. I can raise enough money and prize money from sponsorships and things like that. He goes, yeah, let's do it. Let's look into it. So Kevin, and then there's another guy, Mario Markovic, who owns all the restaurants. He owns about 8 or 9 restaurants in Newport and Costa Mesa.
Right on.
Well, he has Blackies on the beach. He has a Stag Bar. He's got a Mexican restaurant next door to it. He owns a restaurant called Muldoon's. He owns all of 17th Street in Costa Mesa, Wild Goose. What else he owns? He owns a country club. He owns a Mexican, Playa del Rey. And so he put in some money too. So we're off and running. So they had to go to the city council and get all the permits. And Steve Obradovich isn't going to get those permits. I'm a Laguna guy. And
Okay.
They have all the contacts through their hotels and their restaurants, and they're really well liked. They pay a lot of actually tax revenue too, right?
Yeah.
So they went to the city council, talked to the mayor. I talked to them, had a meeting with the mayor first. Our first meeting was with the mayor and Kevin and Mario.
Okay.
And the mayor just said, hey, I'm in. We'll do it.
Awesome.
So it just was it was about, 6-month process to get the permits.
Wow.
Because you got alcohol on the beach. They don't allow volleyball tournaments in Newport Beach.
Yeah, it's because it's been a while since there's been a real tournament in Newport.
They just don't allow it. For what reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we have a VIP area for people over 21 in an area that's like a suite.
Yeah.
Only on the bottom floor, and so that's for adults to drink. They get the wristband, they get service, they get food, they get everything
That's amazing.
they want. So then we have our VIP area for the sponsors and ex-players or anybody I like.
It's a good way to be.
Yeah.
So what's the what's the VIP section look like? Are you guys bringing in bleachers and stands and stuff,
No.
or is
It's just 2 VIP areas. And
Okay.
let me do this real quick. I can show you a photo of it. Maybe we can put it up.
Yeah, we can definitely put that on.
I'm so fired up to play.
Yeah, who's while he's looking, who's your squad?
So me, Zana, Carli Scott, and Kylie DeBerg. So
Awesome.
I was sitting with Evan. I reached out to Madison during Chicago because I heard he was going to help with it, and I was deciding if I wanted to go to India for the Challenger and pay that money to go and play and keep going, or if I stay back and play in this. And I didn't have a guaranteed spot, so I talked to Madison. He's like, yeah, we're kind of figuring out the details. So I just kind of kept poking and seeing, and he's like, yeah, there's only 2 teams right now. Kind of, can you make one or, whatever. And so I was sitting chatting with Evan, and I think he talked to Zana as well. I'm like, put Z on my team. I would love to obviously play defense with Zana. And then we're like, who could we get that just would be a good fours player, because
Yeah.
not every player who plays doubles is good at four. I mean,
Right.
you don't really know. And Kylie DeBerg, the two girls on my team,
Yeah.
Kylie and Carli, were two of the best outsides in college. They would just rip, and great blockers. So I see them being
that's what you want.
I see them being very good at fours. So
Yeah.
we're fired up. We're
Yeah.
gonna get a little practice in and give it a shot. So we're fired up.
Put that on the screen.
Yeah.
So it's just
we can overlay that
It's
for
just
sure.
the end zones are covered,
Okay.
and then we just bring your beach chair and your umbrella. So
Awesome.
we're going to move the courts. The end court's going to have 9 feet to serve. So it's going to be a real cozy event for everybody.
Yeah.
And the lines will probably be
that's
6
awesome.
feet on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old school, plop down your
Yeah.
chair, just sit there in the sand.
Love that.
Which is
It's just
great.
kind of an old school type deal.
Yeah.
Because the city didn't want bleachers in there. I don't blame them. So
Right.
this is part of the expense of putting it up. It just gets less expensive to
Yep.
do that.
Right.
That's
You
amazing.
bring the bleachers in and you bring everything. And so the VIP area obviously is in the middle. And then the bar is actually on this side.
Okay.
So it's going to be, and it goes from 10 to 6 a.m., 10
Okay.
a.m. to 6 p.m.
Is it one day?
One day.
One day. Okay.
That's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
And it's Saturday.
Saturday, October 21st
Okay.
at Blackie's Beach. It's just north of the Newport Pier.
Okay. Got it. And so you're a Laguna guy. You're crossing enemy lines. So you're going into Newport.
No, I'm a Manhattan Beach guy.
Yeah.
In heart, Laguna is like Laguna, but
Yeah.
Laguna would never have it.
Okay.
In Newport Beach, they would have it because there's a lot of. I don't know if you guys have been down there. There's a ton of bars, ton of
I used to live in
places and
Newport.
shops down
So
there. I
fun.
mean,
Yeah.
it's loaded.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably 12 bars down there.
Yeah.
You could go drink at.
And fun ones too.
Fun
Like
ones,
right
oh,
on
yeah.
the beach.
Yeah, I was down there Saturday and it's just full of people.
Yeah.
So parking's gonna be a little bit of a problem. People are gonna have to Uber or ride their bikes down
Mm-hmm.
there from Newport.
Is there a strand too right there? So people cruising on the strand
Yeah,
can
yeah.
kind of
there's
see.
a
They could
bike-
just be
there's a-
cruising by.
There's a bike path.
Yeah,
there'll
okay.
be. I mean, thousands and thousands of people go by there every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we get good weather, which we'll probably get,
Yeah.
Dude,
they're gonna come out.
October.
in
October.
California.
I know it could be
It's the
80
best.
degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I want it to be. I want it to be hot and
Yeah.
let the players work a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a day like today,
We
man,
have
can't
3
beat
teams on each, 3 women's teams and 3 men's teams.
it. Okay.
So what we do is we play pool play. The top 2 teams come out. The bottom 2 teams, whoever it is, play in the semis to get to the finals. The finals are going to be a bye. The best team's going to get a bye in
Got
the
it.
finals. So the other 2 teams are basically going to play again, give them a chance
Okay.
to come back to get in the finals.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what's the format of the matches?
4-man.
No, I mean I know it's format, but like side out scoring.
Well,
like
no,
1
it's
to
gonna. We
15,
couldn't do side
match.
out scoring. The games last too long.
Yeah.
They would go. You get on to 21st Street where Taylor plays, whatever it is,
Right.
and they'll go on for an hour.
Yeah.
So our format right now is it could be 2 games to 21.
Okay.
There might be a playoff. We're trying to get the time factor in there,
Okay.
and then a playoff to 15 or something like that.
Got it.
So it'll be plenty of volleyball for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got 2 courts. I'm assuming
courts,
one's
yeah.
men's, one's women's.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're seeing if we could do we're trying to get as many matches on the main court.
Right.
So it's going to be Geeter's going to be doing the semifinals and finals.
Oh, it just gets
Awesome.
better and
And
better.
then
Awesome.
Jim Marico, who's been around
Yeah.
for long, does the Hall of Fame. He's going to do before Geeter goes.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
it's going to be we'll have music down there. It's going to be a first class setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm bummed I'm missing it. My boy, I'm in his wedding. It's his bachelor party that weekend. So I'm like,
Oh, where you
all
going?
right, Nashville. Yeah, that's your daughter lives in
My
Nashville.
daughter
right?
lives there.
Yeah.
She lives there. It's the you're doing a bachelor party there. It's usually a bachelorette party there.
Yeah, well, maybe
you
that's
guys
why.
doing? You're gonna ride
Maybe
one
that's
of
why
those-
he went there.
you're gonna
We
be on-
happened to
you're
run
gonna-
into a bachelorette
You're
party.
you're gonna be riding on one of those buses with all guys. They have those trucks and all the girls line up and they go up and down Broadway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a bunch of my friends did their bachelorette parties there.
You got to go.
I love Nashville.
You got to
Yeah.
you got to go into Roberts. It's on 4th and Broadway.
Okay.
It's called Roberts All American, and
Got
it's
it.
a great cowboy bar. They have entertainment from 10 in the morning till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's like an Hercules.
Okay.
It's bigger and it's got
Yeah.
a big stage. It's more of the locals go in there. It's not,
Not the big tourist trap.
Yeah, and they got the recession special there, which is a fried bologna sandwich, a PBR beer, and a moon pie. And it's like
Amazing.
$8.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, it's called Roberts All American. It's
Okay.
4th and
Right.
Broadway, and it's
Noted.
we didn't go. I went there with my son-in-law who went to Vanderbilt and played baseball. So we go there and we were going to go bar hopping. I go, fuck, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. This is too good. The music's great, and it's, every band in there is, always trying to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was good. And sometimes they get some random, some guys that have records and stuff. Some stars come in there and start playing.
Yeah.
At that bar.
It's funny when you go to Nashville. Last time I went to Nashville, Eric Church just popped in and just played at a bar. I was like, why are you playing in front of 50 people in a bar? It's just what they do.
And right behind, if you walk out the back door of that bar, there's an alley there, and that's where the original Grand Ole Opry was.
Okay.
So you can go back and see that. And,
Super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a funny experience for you because you've been in the restaurant business for so long? Like when you go in other restaurants, can you just enjoy it and eat, or are you just looking around and taking notes?
I'm always looking around.
Yeah.
I've been out of the restaurant business for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm not critical. I just go, God, how do they do this?
Yeah.
I'm more amazed at some of the restaurants now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them I go, it's not something I would have, but 90% of them you go into it and you go, this is pretty good.
Yeah. We used to. OB's is still up in.
We don't know. They kept the name.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Keeps my name out there and
Yeah.
keeps my brother's name out there.
I didn't know anybody. I thought you still ran.
Yeah. We started that. I don't know how long ago. Brought that to my brother and paid like $25,000 for the restaurant. And it was like a really good lease, and it was like, this worked out really well.
Yeah.
And did you know anything about the restaurant business before you just popped in?
Before that, that we had Julie's, which is a very famous restaurant in downtown Los Angeles. And our story of that, it's like Tim Wilmer worked there, Jimmy Mingus worked there, I had a bunch of volleyball players worked there.
Yeah.
Hovid worked behind the bar, just doing the beers and drinking them. Tim, that's not the point. So I had a lot of buddies work there, and we had 14 bartenders for the SC games.
Awesome.
Just went off.
Nuts.
Party was where everybody went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to have when you are the bar that people go to during a football game or after a basketball game. At Maryland, that was Bentley's.
Yeah.
And after a basketball game, boom, we're going to Bentley's.
Yeah. We just did it during football season. A little bit of basketball, but football season we would do 1,100 meals. Lunch and breakfast and dinner, breakfast and dinner.
Holy moly.
It was like huge.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I still wear my T-shirt to the SC games. I miss Julie's. I get stopped all the time. I want one of those.
Yeah. That's
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was a very, very famous institution. And my brother and I both went to SC.
Okay.
So I played football and volleyball there. He played football. He played 9 years in the NFL. Jimmy,
Yeah.
he builds homes here in Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
So he lives in Hermosa, right around the corner from here.
Yeah. Man, a lot of the old school players, you guys have such good diversified skill sets. Like a lot of you guys have got restaurants, or I know Hov's big into real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate was kind of big.
Yeah.
For that old school
Everybody.
type.
Fenoy's in there.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Brooke Billings.
Yeah.
Brooke Billings
He's on my 6-man team. Well, I'm on his 6-man team is a better way to describe it.
Can he still play?
Oh, yeah.
He was good. He was like the sneaky U.S. guy you never heard of because he went over to Europe all the time.
Yeah. Dude,
SC guy too.
He's still he rolls up. He's like, you haven't played since last year. 6-man, does like one little rotation, then he's just like bouncing balls, blocks like 10 balls a set, and then he pops up the next day. He's like, can't move. Sorry, boys, I'm out.
Yeah. His theory is like mine. Cheetahs don't warm up. You never seen a cheetah warm up, have you?
I love what movie is it? Zombieland. Have you ever seen Zombieland?
No.
They have a similar line where Woody Harrelson goes, "You ever seen a lion limber up?"
Yeah.
Nope.
It's good. That's what I tell everybody when I go play volleyball at Emerald Bay. They go, "You gonna warm up? Cheetahs don't warm up." I'm good.
I love that.
I'm good. Shank a pass without warming up.
So you got out of the restaurant biz a while ago. What you been up to since?
I work in the real estate business. I work for Chicago Title, who's one of the team sponsors.
Got it.
It's real estate. You do title insurance, so I do commercial, industrial, all over the United States.
Okay.
So I got into it in '92. I left the restaurant, and then everything changed, and I did really well, and could afford a place in Emerald Bay, and
awesome.
Blessed had 4 good kids, and all went to Laguna Beach High School.
Right on.
Nice.
3 of them graduated from SC. That's why I'm still working.
No kidding.
That's a lot of money. I'll tell you what. I don't know how the young kids are going to make it. I
SC,
swear to God.
it's when I look at, because one of the first jobs I had when I moved here, I helped high school kids just with their application essays.
Yeah.
I kind of coach them through it.
Yeah.
And they'd be applying to SC, and then we'd look at their student loans, and I was like, SC is how much per year?
Oh, yeah.
Because Maryland in-state was 8 per year.
Yeah.
And SC's like 70 to
70,
80.
yeah.
And that was a couple years ago.
It just, tuition's like 60. You add on, they join a fraternity. You got to pay for, the rents there are like $1,800 a month per student. You know,
Holy
you got
shit.
food, you got gas, they got to come home, you got to go to parties, you got to take them to dinner.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have any money.
Whew.
So you're supplying them money
Right.
as long as, with everything.
Right. Man.
Yeah, they don't work during the summers, you know, they're just, they do it. My son interned and he's doing really well now. He's 25 years old, Pete. He just won our big Calcutta in Emerald Bay.
Oh, nice.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And he got his name on the trophy, and I had
Yeah.
my name on the trophy earlier. But for 25, you grow up in that area, and it's just a rite
yeah.
of passage.
Yeah.
You know, all the kids have won it, and he won it. And, you know, Travis Wilson won it one year. Brian Lewis
God,
won it.
I love Travis Wilson.
Brian Lewis won it one year.
Okay. And he's,
Basically with three guys in wheelchairs.
and he's Wollaston's
yeah,
father-in-law. I think.
brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's married to...
brother-in-law, not
yeah.
father-in-law.
He's married to Travis's sister.
Small world.
Travis grew up in Emerald Bay, so Louis comes in, and then he played a couple of years. He goes, "I'm done." You know, I think I bought his team for $30,000 or something like that. Yeah. I sold it off where I was only betting $1,000.
Okay. That's
Got
good.
back like $300. It wasn't a good bet.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect.
What did the Emerald Bay Kolkata get up to this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll tell you off the record.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because Hermosa, it was my first time doing the one at 16th, and I was like, oh, that's, I don't know why anybody would ever go to Chicago instead of doing the Kolkata.
It gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Let's put
It
it's
blew
more
my
the AVP guys are playing for.
Yeah. So the fours that you're putting on, though, every athlete's getting an appearance fee.
Yeah, they get an appearance fee.
Is there prize money on top?
No, there
Okay.
is. There's $72,000 in the tournament.
Whoa.
So, but you back out the $2,000 that Savvy's
Right.
extorting from me.
Fighting for that $2
I'm
grand.
going to negotiate with
I
her
need
later.
that $2
This is
grand.
for charity.
I need that. It is charity.
So if the winning team wins, we figure they're going to get $4,000 each, $2,000
Okay.
on top of that.
Awesome.
So they get to play 6 hours in one day tournament. And,
Yeah.
And Misty May Foundation, the May Trainer Ohana Foundation is the recipient of the
Okay.
excess proceeds.
Awesome.
So Misty's going to be down there at 1:00. She's got a soccer game. So kind of said, Misty, if you don't show up.
Yeah.
So she's been real good about it. So
Awesome.
so that's a good thing. We're giving money to charity, and that's what it's all about.
Love that.
For us. I don't,
Yeah.
You know, but she'll get a substantial amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the players are all jacked up. As soon as I mentioned the word $2,000, everybody gets excited.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone gets
You put fours and $2,000 together.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
friend,
yeah.
you will have every volleyball player.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
How do I get
I
in?
could have
amount
done
of
it for
people-
500, but I really wanted to make it like
A legit.
deal where guys want to come down and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they actually want to. You know, they do. They just
Yeah.
want to play. I'd want to play. I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have played for 500, but this was an add-on. I'm trying to help the players is what we're trying to do. They don't make a lot of money during the year. And
Right.
you struggle, so now you go, God, I got a $2,000 prize money.
Right.
That's friggin' great.
It is great.
Yeah, so that was my give back. I've always wanted to help the sport in any way I can, either coming down to tournaments, going to the Hall of Fame deal every year. So I always wanted to feel bad for these guys. We took
Yeah.
all the money. Well, actually, Dodd and Hovland and Karch and Randy and St. John and Steffes and you know all those guys took all the money.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, but you know, hopefully this 4-man we could turn into some sort of league. I've got some ideas on that, and selling New York, Dallas, all these franchises where actually the owners pay the players.
Yeah.
So there's really no prize. You know, it's like a league. So it's like these guys are buying pickleball leagues, right? It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
fuck. These guys are way better athletes than those guys. It's a way better show to watch, 4-man.
I think pickleball is unwatchable. I don't understand it.
I play a lot of it, believe it or not. But
but
I
can you
get
watch
bored
it?
watching it because
Yeah.
of the dinking that goes on. It's
Yeah.
really hard to do.
Yeah.
But then it's whap, it's over. You know. And
Right.
I can watch for about 10 minutes and I go, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. I know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
So, but it's just one of those sports that catches on. And I retore my calf muscle 2 months ago, and
Oh.
I just got back. Yeah. So everybody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Just a matter of they go, you're gonna keep playing. I go, I can't wait to get back.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? It keeps me in shape. I don't have to go on long walks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like playing volleyball anymore.
I was going to ask if you still
I
play.
haven't played in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't have the urge right now. I might
Yeah.
play again. You know, I don't know. There's lots of games at Emerald Bay every weekend. People are playing,
Okay.
but I just that or I drink 6 Coors Lights. Fuck, I'll drink 6 Coors Lights.
And you're golfing.
Yeah. I golf 2 days a week, so it's
Yeah.
like you know if I could play pickleball 3 days a week, golf 2 days a week, I don't need.
Yeah, you're
anything
good.
else.
You're active. But sports, you're outside.
What's that?
You're outside.
I'm outside. I don't need to get enough sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're hunting?
Yeah, I'm hunting.
Yeah. How's South Dakota?
What's that?
How was South Dakota?
South Dakota was great. It was Sutton Bay. Problem is, I didn't get to hunt because one of my buddies didn't like guns, and so he would have been left alone. So I go, okay, let's go fishing. I caught one fish.
Yeah.
So next year I'm hunting.
Yeah.
You can stay by yourself. I'm going out. I'm going to shoot something.
Yeah.
You know. So, and I've hunted a lot before with birds and stuff. So it's you know you're a hunter.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to do. It's challenging, and walk through the fields and shoot pheasant.
Yeah. The good thing about fishing though is you can do it year round, and
Yeah.
hunting you have a pretty quick season.
Yeah, I love saltwater fishing. I love that. I love catching tuna.
Yeah, man. We went up to Alaska and fishing for salmon. I mean, you put a line down, and you had one. We got our limit in like 2.5 hours with 36
Oh my
salmon.
gosh.
Are you gonna? I just noticed. Are you gonna drink that beer?
It's
Can I have one?
I'm pacing. Yeah, of course you can.
God, jeez, You're drinking too?
Yeah, Savvy started it.
Oh my God, what is going on here?
It's happy hour. Sure, why not? I'm going to El Sombrero happy hour tacos tonight.
Oh, really? It's
I'm
happy hour
getting
tonight.
started on my Coronas early.
I ate that. I got in there at El Ranchito in Newport Beach yesterday. We got in there right at 5:58, and happy hour was over.
Oh.
So we go, okay, now we got to get here at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
You get like 2 crispy tacos for $5.
Oh,
And I go,
no, the deal is
thank you.
rad. Rad.
Here's to you out there.
Cheers. Thank you. I would love a refill. Yeah. So who are some of the sponsors for the event?
Sponsors is Citrus Ford Kia. It's out in Ontario.
Okay.
And Dennis, who owns it, is a good friend of mine, so he got in. Chicago Title's doing one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing Miles's team, Team 2, and Andy
Thanks,
Benesh
Chef.
and Rosenthal and Jake Gibb.
Yeah.
Then we have Baldwin and Sons, who's a builder in San Diego, but he lives in Emerald Bay, so he sponsored a team. His kids are in for volleyball.
Yep.
Then I've got Zodovich Wines.
I think that's our team, the one that's sponsoring our team. I think.
What's that?
I think they're sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Our team
Baldwin.
or whatever.
No, he's
Yeah.
doing the guys team. He's doing the third guys team.
Okay.
You're either Zodovich Wines, and then we got Kincaid's Construction. He's a big contractor in Newport Beach, a friend of mine. And the other one is, God, I'm friggin' jonesing out. I forget who the other one is, excuse me. But we got 6.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
So
they were
rad.
easy to get. I mean, it was just trying to get everything together and and this was just a handshake deal with these guys. That's how good of friends they were with.
Yeah.
So it was like these guys are into it. They're all into volleyball. They're all into it. And they say, hey, we're in.
And look at, those lineups.
had a waiting list.
Those lineups are insane.
What's that?
Those lineups are insane.
Yeah,
I mean, those are some of the best players of all time.
I don't think there's ever been there's never been a tournament like this. Never been a 4-man tournament like this.
Not that I
And,
can think of.
we got like I said, the Italian kid,
Ranghieri.
Ranghieri, coming, and, you seen that guy yet?
He's
He
incredible.
is a
Have
freak.
you seen his looks?
He is also very good looking. Yes.
I mean, what a magnet he's going to be. Oh, my God.
I can't
Look
wait
at
to
him.
send
I
that
showed
clip
my
out.
wife. She goes, I'm coming down. So,
I love it.
so next year, we're going to do it next year. It's going to be almost more dynamic next year because you get the international guys who are going to catch wind of it. I think I'm going to hold them back.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the guys that are the AVP guys.
Yeah.
We'll get a couple of Euros in there if they want. If we could extend the tournament to 4 teams next year, which we might be able to do, we might be able to do it 2 days, which would be good. But this is our trial, our beta testing for everything. And like I said, these guys are buying pickleball leagues. Why don't you buy a volleyball team?
Right.
So you'd have a draft, and the guy has a GM, and then you go off the content, see how much content you get to raise money and the sponsors and stuff. And I think it'd be a really good deal if some of these guys, investors, guys that like volleyball, saw it.
I think so too, because it would be the cheapest entry point to get into owning like a sports franchise.
That's it. I don't even know what the price would be, but and you do it off AVP. You could do it throughout the whole year. I mean, you go down to Florida in December, January, February, and you're going to draw crowds.
Oh, for sure.
You're going to draw crowds.
Because people, I think what you'll find is people love force, not just the players, but it's so much more dynamic.
Well, it's a lot cooler people. I mean, you get a guy like Elon Musk, who's kind of a nerd, and he'd like to hang out with the beach crowd.
Yeah.
You know, really think of that. If he goes to Manhattan, nobody's gonna fuck with him. Nobody's gonna bother him. Just, hey, you're one of the guys. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
You know, let's chill a little bit. He talks to the players, and they're all normal guys. Nobody's asking him for something.
Right.
Nobody's gonna, hey, I got an investment for you.
Yeah.
No, nobody's like that.
Right.
In the beach world, it's kind of a cool little
It is.
dynamic.
Well, that's like Vince Vaughn in Manhattan. He was just in Shellback, just hanging out.
Cruising.
That's what's continued about volleyball that I like. The kids are still hanging out, going to bars, working, and some of them have jobs in the off season, and they're all good. And the guys that I was really impressed with, they know who I am, you know, because I've kept in touch, and they all respect you, and they're all talking nice. You're all, you know, the Crabb brothers, Bourne, I've known since college.
Yeah.
You know, all those guys. Even Jake Gibb goes down to Jake Gibb, Rosie. So they all kind of know, especially with Dodd and Hovland being so prevalent down in this area.
Yeah.
They know the lineage, the history of it, how the guys were. And so just like I knew the Von Hagens, the Jimmy Minguses, the Greg Lees, all these guys, Fred Zulich, Dennis Hare, all these great players. So I always studied down below. I mean, when I saw Von Hagen at the Hall of Fame, I still get nervous. And he's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I still look at him like he's my idol.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that created this whole
He's like
thing.
the Babe Ruth of beach
Yeah,
volleyball.
he is.
sort of.
And he's a very shy individual.
Yeah.
Really shy.
I still haven't met him.
You haven't met him?
No.
I don't know if you'll ever meet him. He's stuck. I don't know how well he is now, but he's got to be 80 years old.
Okay.
Great story about him. He came to the Hall of Fame. I think he was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. He's like 75.
Okay.
I go, how many days did you ski in Sun Valley? He goes, I go, 4 days? And he goes, no, I missed 4 days. I go, holy fuck, Ronnie. Are you kidding? He goes, no, I missed 4 days. He's an animal. He's like just a storybook,
Yeah.
you know, and he's just really shy and introverted. Even when I was playing against him, I would always go down to Sorrento Beach. I had to practice down there, and I'd sit with him, and, you know, and I'd go, hey, let's arm wrestle. I want to see how strong you are.
Yeah.
So I'm left-handed. I go right now. Boom. Boom. He goes, I've never lost. He took me down like I was a child. And I go, holy shit, man, this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, because he was like one of the first truly, like he approached it like a profession, kind of from what I understand.
Well, he came from family money.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't have a job. I mean, Mingus didn't have a job. Greg Lee didn't have a job. I was the only guy with a job back in the 70s.
What were you doing?
Well, I worked in the liquor business.
Okay.
We got a restaurant in 79, so I'm like 24, 23 years old. I'm working every day in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'm driving down because Marine Street got done about 2. So
Okay.
I'd have to drive down to State Beach or Sorrento at like 3 in the afternoon. And at State Beach, that's when the game started.
Okay.
3 or 4 o'clock. St. John would come down. St. John, who else played there? Andrew, Eller, Stokey.
Yeah.
Steffes would come down. So they had a bunch of really good games down there. So that was the only time I could play.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time at Marine during the year. Sometimes during summer, but a lot of times I had to go up to State Beach and play.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he. I remember talking. I mean, because St. John idolized Von Hagen, and then I think in the same way, because you mentioned that a lot of the guys now, the top players have like there's sort of a reverence for players in your era with the Hovs and Dodds and you and Kents and all them and Karches, because I mean you guys were the ones who you legitimized the sport into a professional endeavor.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this with Miles Partain's dad, in that you guys, everyone points to the 90s as like this golden era. Like, what does the AVP have to do? But it was a different type of person, an individual. All you guys were like sort of entrepreneurs in your own way.
Yeah.
Like you guys were trailblazers. And I think a lot of the players now, we didn't have to trailblaze to create the tours already there.
Yeah.
And I think that we've lost a little bit of that.
We played 24 tournaments for like 3 or 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or
pretty big money tournaments.
Yeah, Florida, 5 weekends in a row. I went back. I got so many miles because you had American Express to give you quadruple miles.
Yeah.
And I just had like 100,000 just in those 4 trips.
Oh my God.
Some guys would stay down there. I got to fly back and work. And then
Yeah.
you go to New York. You're going to Texas. You're going to New Jersey. You're going to Philly. I mean, it was like just vagabonds on the road. We're all flying coach, and we're all meeting in airports. A flight gets delayed. You got 18 guys laying down on their bags trying to get on the flight.
Yeah.
But it was fun. You leave Friday afternoon, and then you friggin' drink Friday night and Saturday night, and it was still a party atmosphere back then.
Yeah.
With Hav and me, and there was a couple other guys that we're still going after it.
That seemed to be, because I wrote that book with Kent, and it seemed to be the way Kent described it, is like there was sort of an ethos there where there's this masculine macho thing where who could party the hardest and still play well.
Hovland won. Not even close. Not even close. You knew he was going to win if he got in the finals and he was hungover and he just threw up. Threw up in the court. And I go, all right, Tim's going to win this one.
Over.
I was with, it was at Clearwater Beach and Karch came back to play with, of all things, Dot. So they're in the finals and Karch will be down there too at the tournament, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So Karch is starting to cramp, which I go, what do you mean you're cramp? So he comes up to my room. It's in Clearwater Beach and I got a room with a view of the tournament. I always took care of everything. Mm-hmm. He's up there drinking 4 beers before he goes, Coors Lights. Guzzling beers down. Guzzled like 4 down. Karch, back then when he could drink, he would just...
And he's never half in on anything, huh?
Yeah, and he won the tournament. That's a goddamn to see you curb cramps with beers.
Yeah.
Coors Light, that's what does it.
No Coors Lights for the cramping, huh?
Yeah, so we had a great time. I would pick these restaurants to go to dinner. This is a great story. Remember John Stevenson?
Yeah.
Hanley and Stevenson. So we got 12 guys. I think we're in Rhode Island, and I'm ordering steaks and martinis and shit, and he's ordering a chicken and a salad, and the bill comes. So I go, well, we divide it up. And John goes, what are you talking about? We divide up the bill. Well, I only had chicken. I said, next time order more. So the next time, everybody's having steak and lobster and shit, and they're just going, okay, it's going to cost me another $20, but I'm not going to pay for something that I didn't have. So it's a learning lesson. We stole...
Alexa's participating today.
Alexa. I'm like, who's talking over there? That's funny.
Yeah, Alexa's on point today.
She's listening to all my stories.
Yeah.
You look thirsty over there.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good right now. So we had another deal that I pulled on St. John. He dropped his credit card in his wallet, so we had 12 guys at dinner. Yeah, fuck it. Gave him the credit card.
Dinner on St. John.
St. John gets his bills. What the fuck did you? I sent him a check. I go, I'll pay for the dinner, all right? Yeah. So I was making a little bit of money. I go, here, I'll pay for it. Yeah. But we got him good.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. About a month later, he goes, what the fuck? He immediately called me. Immediately knew who it was. I was always, I was the most fine guy on the tour. That's when you got fines back then. You argue with an official, you say something derogatory to him or swear at him or stuff like that, and that shit went down.
That's hilarious.
There was a beauty contest. We used to have beauty contests. Yeah. You don't remember those days? So it was the beauty contest was a huge deal. So we're in the back, and I could hear him out there, but there's a big board. It's like, yeah, it's banana there, right over the top. You hear it flap. You hear the whole audience just go nuts. Gage comes back. Matt Gage was the director of officials.
Okay.
That's $100. Didn't look at anybody else. There was all of his guys down there laughing. He goes, looks at me, OB, that's $100. What? How do you know it was me?
Good morning. Here at SANDCAST, we got to keep our minds, bodies on point all the time. So we like to start our days with a little AG1. A little water in there. Give her a little spinaroo. And we're good to go. Multivitamins, all the goods your body can need, the greens, all in one. This is all you need, AG1.
Now after we get our athletic greens, we're all energized to go practice with the only ball that we're ever going to use, Wilson, baby. And after practice, obviously, I'm sweating a ton. I need to get rehydrated. The only way we're doing it at SANDCAST is with YK volcanic water with bottles made of 100% ocean plastic. We're getting hydrated, we're saving the environment, one bottle at a time, baby. Cheers.
Guys, after a long day, we're in the sun out there grinding and playing. We got the sunset going down, and we just need the perfect drink to take us into a nice evening of podcasting. And this is what we choose. Bartender in a box. My favorite flavor, the Mai Tai, but we also have margarita as an awesome choice. And, there's 12 drinks, 12 cocktails in just one tasty box. Comes with the spout on it as well. So boom, sit down at the beach, take it on the go. 12 cocktails, bartender in a box. It is the official beverage of the SANDCAST podcast.
Didn't even need to ask.
I didn't need to ask. I was just always doing stuff like that.
That's so funny.
Oh, God, yeah.
All those stories that, like, your era of players was so rich in just stories and personality, man.
Well, the 70s was even better when you got, I started playing in 72. So you get from like 74, I was AAA, and so you get in with all the older guys.
Right.
And it was like they'd have these parties afterwards at somebody's house, whether you go to CDM or San Diego or Laguna, Sorrento. There's always a party afterwards. And a lot of these guys just come in still in their sand on their shoes and everything, or go to a bar, and they just didn't. I always showered, I got to clean up before I go. It was like, then they'd flop houses. Everybody spent the night there. It was just bizarre how it just, we were basically hobos. We weren't making any money.
Yeah.
And we played just as hard to win an open as we did, that I played when I made money.
Yeah. What was
same
it
with
like?
St. John and Randy, same with Karch. I mean, they played for a lot of tournaments for no money.
Yeah.
What was it like when money came into the tour? Because 76.
Well, it kind of grew. I think the first time they had money was in '83. I think Mike Dodd was on the cover of Volleyball Monthly, leading money winner, $23,000 or something like that. So then Miller Lite came in and started upping it, and then Jose Cuervo came in at the same time. They did 3 events a year.
Yeah.
So it just started getting, every tournament was a $100,000 tournament. A couple were 150.
I mean,
so you times 24. So it was like 2.7 million back then, 2.4 million. So it was like 24 tournaments. I mean, St. John and Randy are winning 18 of them. Dodd and Hodden would win 6 or 7, 9, and then Karch came in. Him and Steph started winning every tournament.
Right.
So at $100,000 times so many tournaments, they were making money. I think Karch led it one year at $450,000 just in prize money.
And that's, in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and he was making sponsorships from his sponsors, and I was wearing Quicksilver forever and not getting paid, and then they get Karch. And I go to Bob McKnight to see, are you paying him? Yeah, we had to pay him. What the fuck? You're paying me now. I got like $1,000. I got $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
But it covered all my flights and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get your expenses covered.
Yeah. So it was like, I couldn't believe it. He's getting paid. I go, I've been with you guys since '76.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Was it just the craziest thing though to go from, you're working just as hard to play for just the pride of winning, and then all of a sudden you got $100,000 on the line?
Yeah. I think I made $75,000 in my whole career.
So you were like,
I was the most famous guy for making the least amount of money.
Just mistimed it.
Yeah, just mistimed. I got married in '89, had a kid, and then in '89 it was just starting to lose to guys I didn't want to lose to.
Okay.
And then I thought it was over. Then the prize, I shouldn't have retired. I should have kept going.
Yeah.
But the prize money was going like this, and I go, shit, I'm done. I'm just gonna work at my restaurant.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good thing. I went through withdrawals, and
I bet.
Well, you're living in Manhattan Beach. You go down the beach. You're toting all your weekends were planned since I was 18 years old. What I was going to do every weekend during the summer.
Yeah.
Now I've got, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm missing the locker room.
Yeah.
I'm missing the traveling. I'm missing the guys. I'm missing the competition mostly. So it was a hard adjustment for me. I came back and played 91 or 90, a couple tournaments in 91. Then I just said, okay.
Yeah. How long did it take you to kind of get over that withdrawal? Because that's a hard thing.
Probably till I was 38, 39.
Okay.
I changed jobs and focused in on that. So, okay, I'm going to do what I did in volleyball in this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I've found is when a player, you look at like a Jake Gibb, I always have as an example, where, he retires and he's so looking forward to just kind of hanging out. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, I need to do something. And he starts the Spiker Academy.
Yeah, you go, what am I going to do? There's no drug testing come over to my house anymore. There's no, random drug testing they have to go through. He told me all about that. When you're playing in the Olympics, they can drug test you at any time.
Oh, yeah.
Not that he did anything, but he's going, these guys randomly call, you got to piss in the cup.
Yeah.
They're coming, they're around. They came to my house to test Evan. I live with Evan Corey. They came to test us, and we weren't there. We were in New Orleans just on vacation with his family, and they called. It's like 9 a.m. there, and I get this call from a random number. I'm like, I'm asleep. Decline at Evans. He's practicing. declined like 6 times. The 6th call, I'm like,
Yeah. It's got to be something.
maybe I should answer this. I'm like, hello? I think it's a spam. They're like, hey, this is so-and-so from the USADA organization. I'm like, the what? They're like, we're at your house to drug test you. I was like, what? And I'm not even like going for the Olympic. Like, I'm not even the top player.
Yeah.
And
But
they're
you
at
played
my
some
house.
international events.
Yeah, they're
So
at
you're
my
on their
house.
radar.
They're at my house to test Evan and I. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm not there. Is there someone in New Orleans? Like, I'm going to pass a drug test. You can come test. She's like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't work like that. It has to be a surprise. Where's Evan? I'm like, well, he's practicing. She's like, okay, well, I can't leave your house until he answers the phone and confirms as well. I'm like, she must have sat at my house for an hour waiting for him because I didn't have a car and he was at practice. And
They're
it's
brutal.
crazy. They came to my court the other day asking for Toni. Hey, where's Toni Rodriguez? I'm like, I don't know. They're coming out. They just tested Troy. You should ask Troy Field about his drug testing story. He has quite the story for you.
Oh, and Troy, yes.
He has quite the story. I won't share it. I'll
That's
let
why
him
he's in the
share it. I'll let him share his story, but it's unbelievable.
Is that why Troy's skipping?
I'm not sure who's going to be in the bar.
Unbelievable.
Well, Hovland will be down there, so Hovland will probably be in the bar with Taylor and Troy when they're not playing.
Oh, I bet. Because Troy plays at 21st all the time. With
Yeah, yeah.
Tay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got the other kid, Taylor Sanders' younger brother.
Brenden's
Brendan, he's
good,
playing.
man. Yeah, he's
I
he's
called
solid.
him, and he goes, he thought about it for about 1 second.
Yeah. I'm surprised it took him that long.
I know. I'll cancel everything.
Yeah.
But he played the 6-man. My son's team was playing against him, and I was like, God damn, that guy's good.
Yeah.
You know, so I texted Boley, who ran it, Michael Boley's younger, but Parker, I think it was his son.
Okay.
Said, I got to get a hold of this guy.
Yeah. No, he's really good. And he's funny because he'll go out and practice and just sort of goof off. I'm like, B, man, if you tried, you'd be really good. But I just, he's just
Well, he'll try against these guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you wrote that book with Steffes?
Yeah.
That's, I'm on the cover of that book.
That's you?
That's me.
I thought
that's
that was
that's me and
Marlowe.
And I think it's in the finals. It was a guy named Bob Jackson and Mike Carey in '76.
Yeah,
that's when I won it.
Because I have that picture. It's hanging in my living room.
Yeah, I have one too. Yeah,
It's like one of the most famous.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yeah.
And it's funny because to get the rights to use that was a really funny winding tale because I had to go to the Hermosa Historical Society.
Robbie Hutas, I think.
Yeah. So because I was going to reach out to Robbie, but he passed away during COVID. And so I was like, well, I don't know how photo rights work for a guy who deceased. So
I was going to file a lawsuit. I'm on that cover. You guys didn't pay me. I was going nil. I'm in college. You used my picture.
I paid, it was like $25 to the Hermosa Historical Society. I was shocked. I was like, that's
somebody gave me that book, and I went, fuck this. So I called Chris Marlowe.
Yeah.
I go, hey, I just got $500. I sent him a picture. I got $500. You get any money? Because you got to split it with me. No, you got to get your own lawyer.
Oh, that's so funny. I got to hit up Marlo.
He would. What the fuck? What's going on here? I made you famous, OB. Yeah, I got $500.
Yeah, because that's the exact type of atmosphere that I hope that you guys could sort of create. That's why I think Beach, I'm like kind of over the stadium stuff. I love like that intimate feel.
That's why we did it.
Yeah.
One, we got to make money. This is how it's paying for it.
Yeah.
The VIPs paying for sponsorships. Mario's going to make a boatload on his bar. So that's the way we're going to do it. And it's a easy setup cost. It'll draw people in there and, bring your chair, just sit in the sand or stand.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, the fans used to mark their spot.
They used to come down the night before. Manhattan,
Oh, yeah.
they would come down at 4 a.m, put their chairs down there in the front row.
So awesome.
And nobody would screw with them. There was never any fights.
Yeah.
Back then, they would come down. In
on the
Laguna,
code.
they would do it. Laguna was like one of the best. That was our second favorite open back in the 70s before we started traveling.
Yeah.
Because it was so compact.
It's still like that.
Yeah. And then the city's kind of, I don't know. They got, $30,000 in their tournament this
It's pretty
2
good.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was enough to get Taylor to go, and Taylor saying, I think there's some other guys playing. There's quite a few guys playing.
Yeah. Anyone who's not playing in World Champs is probably going to play Laguna.
Well, some of those teams might get eliminated before the tournament.
I mean, they might.
It starts on the 5th.
They might hustle
right?
back. Yeah, World Champs starts, I leave in 2 days. And then it
starts
goes
on the
for 10 days.
What's that?
It goes for 10 days. So it's Friday to the following Sunday.
Yeah, if you're in there, I would imagine some of those kids will come back.
I would think so, yeah. Because Laguna is always one of my favorite tournaments of the year because I love that intimate setting where you go back to serve and guys can just like.
Well, they don't draw the people they used to be. I mean, they used to have it on the north side.
Yeah, by the basketball courts.
Yeah, they had palm trees up in the deals, and it was just a whole crew down there.
Yeah,
and it was they had this. They filmed this movie about it, and I can't find it. It's called Round Thunder.
Okay. And
it was a great movie. The Laguna Open in 1978, I think.
Okay.
Hooper and I won it in 77, so it was the next year. And it was unbelievable color video, and I can't seem to find it.
Yeah. We'll try to hunt it down. Do you remember who put
I
it
don't.
together?
You probably would have to go to the city of Laguna Beach and try and pull up their permits back then if they had that, or somebody may know it in the Historical Society.
I bet they might have it in their library.
They had close-ups of Hooper and I and all these guys. It was better than the one at the Queen of the Beach that Terry Sprague did in Manhattan Open. You ever seen that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God, what the hell's that one called? King of the Beach, I think it's called.
Okay.
It's a movie that Terry Sprague did. It had the beauty contest in there, but it had the players in there.
Yeah.
Had the audio in there. And they've showed it down at the pier before.
Yeah.
I went down there with my kids when they were younger and sat on the sand. They showed it on a big screen.
Sweet.
So, that was the era back then.
Yeah.
But like I said, Laguna was always see different girls down there. It's not like Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
There's nice little restaurants there, and I was there when
Laguna's like just a quaint little town.
Yeah.
I was there in '75. Just got out of still in college, and the tournament, and I didn't have a place to stay. Yeah. So I went down there, and I ended up getting fourth in the tournament with Gordy Mahan, and '76, and it's just out of college. No, I was still in college. I didn't have a place to stay, so there's a hotel right up above there called the Laguna Inn.
Yeah.
Or something, or Sand and Sea, or whatever it is. So I go, shit, I'm at this guy's room, and we're drinking and stuff, and all the older guys. I'm going, I have to stay in my car. Yeah. So I found a rollaway. I go, shit. Put it in front of the guy's room. He had a balcony. I'm overlooking the courts. Roll the way down I go. Yeah. Wake up. Shit, I woke up late. I could see the action. I was in the loser's bracket. I'm going so I could see the action coming.
Yeah.
And I go, fuck, I'm put on my shorts, go down there. Didn't even brush my teeth. Didn't have anything to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And they let it go. They didn't forfeit me out or my partner.
Yeah.
So it was that's how the days were.
It was just like one big fraternity party.
Yeah, back then it was like, where do you stay? You know?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
The road dog days of
you go down to San Diego, you got to find a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Santa Barbara, you got to find a place. Santa Cruz, you got to find a place to stay. Hooper and I won Santa Cruz in 1978, I think. So we drive out, we fly to, there's a hotel called the Dream Inn that was right, it's something else now. So there's Dream Inn, so we fly to San Jose and drive over. So we pull down and Gary goes, I'm going to the beach. I said, okay, I'll meet you down there. And I go, put the key. He goes, I'll put the keys under the tire. Right? I go in the coffee shop, eat, come back out, car's gone. Everything we own is gone. Everything I own. I've got my clothes on. Hooper's got just his trunks and his t-shirt on. No shoes. So I go, what are we going to do? So we call Quicksilver and go, hey, where's the store? Where can I get? So we kind of like hodgepodged it together. But the car got stolen.
Oh my gosh.
It can't happen to me. And we ended up winning the tournament.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just like nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like.
Well, that's it's
amazing.
I mean, similar in today's standards when Evan and JD were out of money.
Yep.
Evan, have you met Evan, her boyfriend?
Yeah, Evan, Corey, right?
Yeah.
I met Evan.
Yeah.
So Evan and my buddy JD, they just lost in the AVP New York qualifier.
You guys should get married. You'd have beautiful kids.
We're rooting for that.
Yeah.
I am too. So we'll see.
Grandma might be a little bit.
But they're down to like $5. So they're playing a tournament the next day.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do we spend this money? Like, we're starving. We found a place. So they split one ice cream cone. And then they ended up winning the tournament and then getting some prize money from that. And then they were good to go. But Evan was like, that one ice cream cone was good for morale.
Oh,
just powered the boys through.
Fueled the day.
Well, I would have, Stevenson and Hanley were the worst. I would get a room and either stay with Ludi's or Mewhirter or whoever, usually Ludi's and Mewhirter. And all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. We don't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
I had 4 guys in my room all the time. And then Dodd and I and Hovland would I was playing with Moody not Moody, and Dodd, Hovland and I would fly together and rent a car and stay in the same room.
Yeah.
I let Mewhirter get his own room. We were trying to save money too. And it would be
Right.
Dodd and I in one bed and Hovland in the next bed. And Hovland would wake up and go, "You guys gonna spoon all night?" Mike would always have his arm around me. "Hey, I'm not fucking Patty here." So that's the way it was. We would do everything together and get on the court and absolutely beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Hob and I would go at it like this.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, we'd play in the quarterfinals the next day, and then we'd be flying home together. Like, that's what happened back then with me, especially. When we walked on the court, it was a different deal.
Right.
I'm going to do whatever I can to win. I'm going to bitch and moan at the refs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hovland and I would get into it. We were playing in a Cuervo event in Colorado, in Boulder. And so it was like 1 to 10 points. It was this deal to get in the pool player, get in the brackets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Hovland and I are going at it. It's bad. We're disturbing the other courts. We're doing this. We're doing that. So Hovland and I go to dinner that night.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Didn't even talk. All right, let's be good tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next game, they're on the court next to me, and Hovland and I get into it again. Would you shut the fuck up over there? You're an asshole. We're not even playing each other, and we're still arguing. I go, Tim, what?
Yeah.
But here we are at each other's throats. Then we make an agreement not to do anything, and then the next day, Hob and I are still at it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that is true sportsmanship in the purest sense of it, where you can just go at it on the court.
Yeah.
That's a different persona. And then as soon as it's over, you're getting dinner, you're staying in the same area, you're spooning with Dodd, you're going back on the same flight.
Yeah.
Like, that is the way it should be,
God.
I think.
And it was usually Hob Sundays we're driving back, and he's pounded down the beer. So Mike and I are figuring out our seats together. We got to let Tim sit by himself. Because Tim would just go ape shit on the plane. He was like drunk, drinking, and snapping his fingers at the steward or the flight attendant. Tim, you're going to get us kicked off this thing. So Mike and I would move, find 2 other seats and move away from Hob.
We don't know that guy.
Oh, we earned our money flying with him. One of my best friends still. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hob,
Yeah.
as we used to call him.
I love
Dodd
that.
gave him that name, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hob. Who's out? Mr. Hobbs
Oh,
out.
I love that. And then he's coming down to your force thing. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the funniest things about that era is that I think people get the impression that you guys hated each other, when in reality, it was like a big brotherhood.
The only Sinjin and Randy and Dodd and Hovland had some friction. Dodd didn't. Hovland did.
Yeah.
It was always like Sinjin's winning more tournaments. Tim's really competitive. And
Yeah.
I won all the big ones. I won Manhattan 5 times, which is,
Significant.
I played with Hob in tournaments, and he was unbelievable to play with.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything like I thought he would be. Played with Dodd in tournaments, played with Stokey in tournaments. And it wasn't like, we played with Stokey when he was like 18, 19 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah. Got third in Manhattan, had a chance to go to the finals, and my legs started wobbling. Because my problem is I wouldn't eat I was so intense, I'd have to force myself to eat. I wouldn't eat the right things.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you got to eat. And I saw Matt Gage one time taking down this sandwich. I'm going, how do you do that? He goes, I force myself to eat. I couldn't do it. I dropped 7 or 8 pounds in a tournament.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
Just like you're so, but you got to, we were drinking Mountain Dews, instead of water. Oh, yeah. Hob and I would just be Mountain Dews down there. Oh, yeah. You drink a little water, but you'd take a couple Mountain Dews on the court.
Yeah.
So you'd suck down soft drinks to get some sort of energy. And you wouldn't eat.
Your body
And
was
a lot
just
of times they
rifling
didn't have,
through
they
that
had
sugar.
the old days they would have a player's tent, but it wouldn't be like good food there. So you had to bring yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which nobody thought of back then.
Yeah.
Nobody thought of how to eat. I mean, you go out to eat steak or whatever, baked potato, you eat what you can. But you don't eat any. In the morning, the only time I ate was in the morning. I could eat pancakes and stuff. And that was basically it for the day. Yeah. But that wears out in the first 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you rifle through pancakes in 15 minutes on the court.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those carbs.
Oh, yeah. Just boom. Done.
I'm the same way, though. I'll eat, I can, snack. I can eat almonds and nuts and fruit. But I see someone eating a sandwich. I'm like, that thing would sit like a lead weight
Yeah.
But it's good
when
for
I
you.
play.
It's good for you. That's the only thing that gives you energy.
Yeah.
So I really screwed up. Everybody didn't have a good diet back then.
Well, because I mean, the general education on nutrition.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't any.
I'd walk by St. John's room Sunday morning. They're always getting up later than me because I'm in the losers bracket or something. But they would have like the room service tray there.
Yeah.
Go, what? These guys are eating that shit? You know? I mean, at least go to a nice restaurant.
Right.
But St. John was very frugal, and so was Randy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was fun. It was fun. It was good memories. As you get older, I enjoy them more thinking about it.
Yeah.
How fucked up we were.
My buddy JD, the same one that I was talking about
Yeah.
with Evan, he has a good rule with beach volleyball. He's like, if you play a tournament anywhere in the country and you don't have a place to stay, then you've done beach volleyball wrong.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you have the means and you want to stay in a hotel, that's a different story. But if you don't have the means and you don't have a place to stay, then you've done it wrong.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the AVP now, and this is why I want to do the 4-man. AVP has what, 8 tournaments, 10 tournaments?
I think this
They
year.
canceled
At the
out in
most.
Phoenix, right?
At the most.
Yeah.
Let's just say 9. So you don't get the chance. I mean, you're traveling, but you don't get to do it every weekend. You play a
Right.
tournament, they're off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's really hard on them. They need to come up with some sort of sugar daddy, some big corporation that likes this, or some individual that's got a lot of money and go, I want to do this for volleyball. You know, but they haven't found that guy yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm, again, trying to do this a 4-man deal. Go, okay, maybe we could rethink the whole thing. Still have the AVP. So if you have 9 AVP events and I have 9 events, these kids are going to make money. It keeps people coming into it. Now you got the problem with the women's team, or the women's volleyball has a bigger problem than the guys. You got all these college girls coming in.
Yeah.
They're playing 4 and 5 years
Yeah.
in college, and they're coming out thinking they could do it. So it's breeding a whole bunch of these girls. Could be really a dynamic tour for the women versus the men. They got, the club team, they got a big influx. So they need to find a way to keep this sport relevant. Just the Olympics is relevant, but you can't compete with the Euros. They're getting paid.
Right.
They're getting paid handsomely from the government.
Yeah.
What do you guys, if you travel internationally, don't they get stipends or something to take care of their... how does that work out when Trevor and those guys are Benesh, and do they get paid by USA Volleyball?
If you get a high enough finish, then you do. You get a stipend. But if you don't,
What's the stipend?
you're in trouble. I don't know. What is the stipend?
So they do it for travel. It's $1,600 per person, which is great, and it's if you're a top 4 finishing U.S. team.
Yeah.
But you get a max of 10 per year. So if you're
10 what? 10,000?
10
stipends.
10 stipends. So
So how much could that be? What's 10
Six-
stipends?
what's
$6,000?
what's
10
1600
times
times-
1600. So I don't even know what that is. 16,000.
$16,000.
15?
16,000.
See, this is 2023. I was getting $12,000 a year in 1985.
Let's think flights right now.
86, whatever, all the way up. I mean, for 5 years, I got 12,000 a year.
Well,
Whatever.
yeah.
I mean, the math doesn't equal
Right.
the inflation. So
Yeah.
it's really, what's it gonna do? Pay
1,600
for your flights? Your flights aren't cheap to go to Europe.
1,600 covers the flight pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
So you
finished. And then
basically get a free flight.
you get a stipend from if you're a top 12 athlete. So typically it's your top 6. Typically
American
it's
teams?
typically it's like your top 4 pairs, and then sometimes there are some pairs that are switching, not at the top. It's your top 12 US athletes get a monthly stipend. I think the top 4 players get like I don't even $3,000 a month. The next 5 through 8 get $2,000. The next get like $625. So it drops off, and at somewhere in there, health insurance is thrown in there. I don't know if it's 1 through 8 or 1 through 4. So it's something, but like the $600, I just remember, because I went and did a bunch of stuff late last year when there wasn't a bunch of people playing. People were taking time off, and so I did a tournament in the Maldives and 2 weekends back to back in Dubai. Yeah. I was a top 4 finishing team for the U.S. for all 4 events or all 3 events. So I got the $4,800 for stipend, which is great because we were in Dubai for 2 weeks. So that saved a lot of money just being in the same spot for 2 weeks, plus the prize money. So I walked away, in 3 weeks with, the $4,800 plus, they're probably $10,000 total in prize money. And that's that $10,000 was like my saving grace that whole season. Yeah. Like that was like.
But you spent it all for the travel though.
Most of it for the travel.
So I mean, you go in these luxurious spots.
Yeah.
And you come home at the end of the day and go, I just did that for $500 net.
Right.
That's the problem with volleyball for the Americans. I mean, how much can Benesh is probably How much can they win this year?
They're doing pretty well because when you are at the top, when you medal in 3 of the top tier tournaments in a row, they're doing pretty well.
And their sponsors.
What's pretty well?
They'll probably, between AVP and Volleyball World, they'll clear $100,000.
Yeah.
Which for these standards is
Very
really
good.
high.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Top 3 players in the world, they're going to make $100,000 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like significant.
That's the problem with the sport.
Yeah, I had a great year this year and hit like 5.
No, but that Travis, is the problem with the sport.
Yeah.
These guys are world-class athletes. It's the number 1 or 2 thing at the Olympics.
Yeah, it is.
Summer Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. And yet they're just getting paid like servants. They're just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, another reason why I'm doing this. Let's get something else. Let's think outside the box. And I could see a 4-man being in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I could too. I think if there were to be another development of volleyball in the Olympics, I think snow's out. You want another one?
What are you drinking? Pacifico? You got a Pacifico in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You want me to get up and get it?
You wanted me to go get it?
You're just like your mother. You're just like your mom. She wouldn't get me a beer.
See, that's the thing is I would. I didn't know what you want. I didn't know if you wanted me to get you one. No, and this is another conversation for another time. Another whole layer of this financial struggle with us is Evan and I have been approaching companies as a couple because we think it could benefit us as a couple living together and doing these kind of things. We've approached a couple companies, and the problem is all these companies, they want to sponsor these Instagram influencers. So they don't even care to sponsor athletes because these Instagram influencers who are posting dancing videos on TikTok or their body, they're just showing their body on Instagram, like, which obviously we do as athletes. It's different, it's non-sexual, but they want to give all of these influencers all the money because they have more followers. So they're like, why would we don't care if it's an athlete. We don't care if it's an athlete, because they just want to find whoever has the most followers. That's who they want it. So that's another layer to the
I see Olivia
sport.
Dunn on one more photo.
Yeah. She's one of them.
She doesn't even start for her team.
No, she's one of them. Yeah. She makes millions on this.
That's what social content. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes it hard on these sports because you put your deal on YouTube, it doesn't, may get 1,000 clicks. They're getting 4 million clicks.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy math to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of worried about the sport. I am worried about the sport that they need to somehow take it up to a level.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always curious because, as far as having a wealthy individual, you're not going to get a whole lot better than Donald, in terms of having deep pockets with Kingston.
Yeah.
So do you think that I feel like it's a structural problem, just a business model in general. I like the idea with the leagues and the franchises is intriguing. But I feel like the way that the AVP, we keep trying the same thing over and over and over again, and it's just not working. And everyone's looking at it like, well, it did this in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a different era because beach volleyball was really a trailblazing sport. It was the first lifestyle sport.
Yeah.
There, where it beat surfing to the punch. Like beach volleyball and surfing rose at the same time. And surfing was huge back then too. And now surfing's struggling, beach volleyball's struggling. I don't know. I feel like the model's broken.
I think one of the reasons that Miller Lite left and Jose Cuervo is the X Games came in. Mm-hmm. Now you get people that can ride skateboards in Wisconsin or do all that stuff or skate or do bikes.
Yeah.
So I think they saw something coming on the X Games. They go, Miller Lite, we can put our money into that.
Right.
And they're going to it's on ESPN every week. Everybody's jacked up about it. They're seeing guys do all these remarkable things. So that came in, the X Games came in about 96 or 97, I think. So that just took our lifestyle out. Now it's the X Games lifestyle because they're going to get the guy like in Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, watching these guys do bikes and skateboards and whatever they do.
Yeah.
Then the Winter Olympics came too, which I enjoy more the Winter Olympics. I'm a big X Game guy.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah. So it's hard to do. Then they got the King of the Beach seems to be. Have you heard of that? The Queen of the Beach, what Asher's doing in St. John. Mm-hmm. That's actually an interesting format.
Yeah, and that's everyone plays with everyone, right? Is that King of the Beach or King of the Court?
Well, they call it over there. It's Queen of the Beach, Queen of the Court.
Okay.
It's Queen and King of the Court. For some reason, Wilbo wanted to go a little bit woke or whatever, so it's called Queen and King of the Court. That's the guy that runs it.
Wilco, yeah.
Yeah, Wilco.
And that's he is like beloved by the players. He is so receptive to feedback, and that seemed to have a pretty good year.
Yeah, I was on a call with him because they were trying to do it at the. I got him involved with the air show, Huntington Beach Air Show, and I don't think it worked out at the last minute.
Yeah,
because the jets are going by or whatever. They wanted to do it at night, which I thought was a good idea. But I watched the YouTube videos over in Europe. I mean, the setup is unbelievable.
It's awesome.
I mean, the setup is, and then you got Mole was playing, Mole and Anders were playing, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually a very entertaining concept, but I don't know if it's going to grab on.
Yeah, it's a cool thing for the players because it's sort of fun. It's a lot of fun for them. It's you can still win decent prize money. I think if you win, you split 20.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they get 10 grand each on the winning team.
Yeah, so it's different. It's fast paced.
Yeah.
The fans are into it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans in Europe are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
what we don't have here. We don't have. I think if they ever put the prize money up to, let's say it's $200,000 tournament, these guys are going back to making $500,000 to $1 million a year. I think that draws fans and it draws people watching. Oh, these guys are making money.
Yeah.
Well, the winning team gets, what's the winning team? The Manhattan Open, what'd they get?
I think 30, split 30.
Split 30, 15 is good. But if they had 15 of those tournaments,
yeah,
and they were splitting 50,
now we're talking. And I think that now we're also losing less of the elite athletes because now if a TJ DeFalco has a choice to go make 250 or whatever in Poland, or to come grovel and make 16 on the beach, we're going to lose all of our best players to indoor.
Yeah. But if you get, how about TJ playing 4-man? If you get this where you get, like I said, this is a real thing, a real concept that we could do.
Yeah.
Somebody could do. I mean, I started it, but I would like to be involved in it and, see where it goes.
Yeah. Let's see how the beta test goes. I'm excited. I'm bummed I got to miss it, but
at least we got a sizzle reel to sell people. I mean, to get sponsors in and get the guys, because they're tremendous athletes. I mean, it's just, then you involve the indoor guys that aren't playing because the Olympics are not going over there. I go, shit, I could make 150, 200 here, staying here for 10 tournaments.
Right.
So it like you said, it's the cheapest entry point to get into a professional franchise.
By far. I mean, you look at even the MLS, which as far as American sporting leagues go, is closer to the bottom, and it's $550 million.
Yeah.
That's your franchise fee. That's your entry point. I mean,
how much is it?
$550 million is the franchise fee for an MLS team.
Oh shit.
Yep. Big number.
Yeah, we're asking for $1 million each.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but like I said before, have a draft, trade players, do things, and give something to do, and you get a lot of the exploit, like yourself. You could be a GM, drafting the players. Guy didn't know anything. The owner is you're going to have to hire somebody, and that's all you need.
That's it. Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
And so
they go out and drive sponsorship. They can go out and drive media, social media, and you get people coming. They get thousands and thousands of people coming.
Yeah, I think I hope it picks up steam. I'm rooting for you and whoever else you got on board to take that off.
It's just like I said, it's going to be something that nobody's seen. That's what I'm proud of. Nobody's put this thing together yet.
Yeah. Why now? Like, what made you do this now? I know you got that breakfast with Taylor, but what made you have the breakfast with Taylor? When did this start?
Well, we were at the tournament. I was watching. Nobody was down there. It was a doubles tournament. They were playing. I think Taylor walked away with maybe $2,000 or $2,500. We were so I went to breakfast, and so I'm drinking Bloody Marys, He's drinking Bloody Marys. I go, Taylor, because I'll win the tournament, don't worry. That's how bad it was. And I tried to actually, honestly, I tried to do it at Laguna about 4 years ago. Hey, I can raise some money for this stuff.
Yeah.
We can get this thing up to 50, 100 grand. I got enough people to do it. And then Laguna shot it down because they didn't want the same thing with the Cuervo bottle up there or the Miller High Life bottle up there. So we don't have enough lifeguards. I go, we got a beach with no waves. We got a lake out there. What are you guys worried about?
Yeah.
But then when I saw Taylor playing, it just kind of clicked on me. It just kind of clicked. Taylor, would you be interested? Yeah. And that's how it basically started. Just thought of it, and I like I said, I wanted to take care of the AVP guys.
Yeah.
I wanted to make them some money because, the tournaments are going down, the money's going down. These poor guys that are, getting fourth and fifths are great players, but they're just, not making any money.
Yeah.
We were super top heavy on our tour. I didn't get out of 5th place one year, and I think I made 10 grand or something. Finished 5th or better in every tournament with Ludies.
And you came away with 10?
10, 12 grand, whatever it was, maybe more.
It's a hard earned.
Not very much.
Yeah, less than 20.
But it was so top heavy in the first 2, they were taking 80% of the prize money.
Okay.
And that's the way they wanted it.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah, so all the lower players, if you get 9th, you're getting, I think 9th got $350
Yeah.
on a $100,000 tournament or something like that. Or 900. It wasn't very much. It
Tough
wasn't enough
breakdown.
to.
Yeah,
If
that's a tough
you made
breakdown.
the second day, you came close to breaking even. But there you go. You come back, you spend the whole weekend there, and
Yeah. Well, I love it. Appreciate you starting it.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm jacked up. Come down there and bring your beach chair and your umbrella and be ready to have some fun.
Yeah. So where the McKibbins, I'm assuming, are filming,
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about them.
and
I haven't talked to Riley during this whole thing. Madison does all the talking.
okay, but Riley, it's so funny to watch when Riley came back from Italy with Carli.
Yeah.
The McKibbin YouTube channel just took off again. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Daddy's home. So Maddie might be doing a lot of the talking. I think Riley is like the editorial engine.
Oh, Riley's that, because Madison does all the time. I mean, I've talked to Madison more than my wife lately. It's just, we're on the phone every day, and we get into a lot of arguments. And not argument. He doesn't like to argue that much, but I got to put my foot down and go, no, we're not going that way.
Yeah, but they're a great team because Maddie will do all the talking and be the messenger to Riley, and Riley will be like, all right, we're going to do this, that, boom, 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 and then he just cranks.
I told Maddie about this 7 months ago, and he didn't believe me. So I'm trying to get him on the phone with the guy, and he's just like so busy with the AVP tour, and I'm going, all right, maybe he's not the right guy. Maybe we'll get got this other guy involved, and he wanted to just do too much shit. I go, you know what? This is beta testing. I'm not going down that road.
Right.
I got my sponsors lined up. I got everything. So Madison came back into it finally.
Yeah.
And then I set him up with Kevin Martin, my partner in it.
Okay.
And Kevin Martin goes, we're going with him. I go, good decision. Yeah. Because I didn't want to bring some random guy in that, didn't have the best reputation in the world. And I go, I mentioned the guy's name. I go, who? What? Why are you doing that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the McKibbins, they're as good as they come.
So
They're
try
awesome.
not to make any errors in this whole thing, that can't be fixed.
Yeah. So are you guys doing live streaming, or are the McKibbins going to just film and produce and put up and post after? Do you know?
No live streaming.
Got it.
He doesn't want to do that.
Got it.
So
yeah,
I'm kind of like taking his lead on that. Once he's in there, I go, you do what you got to do. As long as Kevin and I own the content, we're good.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, which is a relatively unpopular opinion. But when you look at the numbers on streams versus content that they produce, the post production, when it's nice and you can get like all kinds of angles, that does way better.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, he had to explain that to me.
Yeah.
I would say, let's stream this thing on ESPN 3 Plus or whatever it is.
Yeah.
No. You sure? Yeah. And so he basically said what you did. I go, okay, you're in charge, but I'm always throwing out other shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much, whatever they say, I'm like, that's a pretty good role. I had this conversation when Maddie and Riley put on a KOB in Hermosa a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, you guys are going to stream? He's like, no, like, the numbers will be better if we have, like, a good product after. And I was like, I think you're wrong. And then he was like, no, trust me. And then the numbers were, like, the numbers of our KOB matches were bigger than every AVP final.
Yeah.
And this is just like,
What do you think this is going to do?
A couple of us. Oh, it'd be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, though, I think all of the matches that they put up will get, especially, all due respect, especially the men's matches, will get 6 figures of views.
Yeah.
Which is
that a lot?
Big for volleyball.
Yeah.
For beach volleyball.
Yeah.
So
I said it's a good sizzle reel to go out and make this thing.
Yeah, you got the right guys.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I did. But you thought the same way I did. Let's go this way. And you explained it to me. I was going, okay, but you were going, let me see it. And then you saw it and you go, I was right.
Yeah, I thought
way to go, Madison.
I thought we should zig. They were like, now we're going to zag, and zagging's the way to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, it's a tough climb, but I really think that there's some push for this that people want to see.
Agreed. And I'm looking forward to seeing the product when it comes out.
It's too bad you're going to a bachelor party and riding in a truck up and down Broadway.
I know, with a bunch of other bachelorettes.
Can you imagine him in Broadway going like this? Yeah, baby.
I would love to see Travis on Broadway, honestly. I would love that.
Have you been there before?
A couple times.
Yeah, that's great.
Nashville's a great city.
Like I said, Robert's All-American.
I'll send you a picture from Roberts.
Yeah, you got to.
You send me a picture of the 4-man.
Yeah, you got to get the recession special though.
Done. I can do that.
You guys didn't eat bologna back then. I grew up on bologna.
Yeah.
You know, so you get the fried. It's just so wrong, but it's so good.
It's like try crushing like Spam and musubi when he goes home.
I mean, when I first went to Hawaii when I was 19 years old playing a volleyball tournament, we lived in a guy's place with no money, you know. We had Spam every day. You know what? I liked it. We had Spam in the morning, Spam for sandwiches.
Yeah.
So every morning, every lunch, we had Spam. And you know what?
funny.
When you're 18 years old,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
food.
It's great. Yeah.
Salty as shit. It was good. God, it's got salt. You might as well put on a can artery hardener.
Sodium counts through the roof.
Oh, God. Oh.
Well, OB, man, great to have you back on. Glad to have you in person to
to
kick off
the whole deal.
Chris in the studio here. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah, and where can people follow? Is there a website? or anything?
Yes, there's a website.
Yeah.
npvolleyball.com.
Perfect.
So it's Newport Beach only. It's npvolleyball.com. It's got all the players on there and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
it's going to be
Or get your ass down there and watch in person. That would be great.
Are you going?
I'm playing.
She's playing.
Not after this show.
He's about to boot me off.
Yeah, really.
Since I didn't get him a beer, I'm out.
Yeah.
Gotta find a replacement.
I'll tell your mom she can't come down.
Oh yeah, no.
I'll allow your aunt down. I'll let Bugs come down.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you.
Shoots.